Hello, Aries. How you doing? Welcome. Welcome to the Tarot. We are going to be doing your first half of May general reading here. I'm going to start off with some animal energy, just like I like it. I'm going to go right into the tarot. Okay. Let's see what the animal energy is for my lovely Aries for first half of May. What is the animal energy for Aries? First half of May. Oh, yes, Aries, you better work. You got the beaver. Okay, here's why I love this so much, and here's why I love it for you so much. I know a lot of Aries, and I have to say, not a single one of them, over the course of my life, not one of them has not been a hard worker. Truth. I mean, there's a reason that you guys are linked with the Emperor card. If you've ever thought about that, because your card, your key is the Emperor. There's a good reason for that. You guys are major work bosses. Your work ethic is unparalleled, in my opinion. In my opinion, you are the hardest working sign of the zodiac in terms of, like, you know, work, right? Like 3D work. You really, really are. So the beaver, why I'm obsessed that this came up for you, is because the beaver has achieved a beautiful balance of work and play, which can be hard to do, okay? The beaver has done all of its work. It's built the dam. It's done all of its tasks for the day. It's gotten its, you know, home nice and set up. It's got its food, you know, situated. It knows where the fish come in. It knows what it is. And then it comes out to play. Do you see this little beaver's face? It's like, hey, you want to play? I finished my work for today, right? The sun's going down, and now it can enjoy and relax. This is very much a equal balance of work and play. And I absolutely love that for my hardworking Aries. I really, 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 really do. And again, that statement I made about Aries being the hardest working sign in the zodiac, like in 3D work, that is my opinion. That has been my experience of, well, every Aries I've ever known. So, yeah. Any cross watchers, don't come for me. It's just been my experience. Okay, let's see what's going on for Aries for first half of May. Aries for first half of May. Indeed, absolument. Okay, we got the Two of Wands. Okay, so let's talk about the Ace of Wands before we talk about the Two of Wands. Why don't we, though? So the Ace of Wands is that initial burst and influx of energy, passion, gusto. Then you're like, well, wait a minute. I got all this energy, passion, directive, you know, ambition I'm hearing. But I got to figure out where I'm going. I got to lay out a map and really, you know, just look, let me plan. This is a planning energy, right? It's that, but you can't get into Three of Wands where you're making moves on the plan until you sit down and make the plan, right? That's what Two of Wands is. It's knowing that you want to move on to another dynamic, greener pastures, make a change. I'm hearing setting out on your own adventure, and you're just taking a moment to create the blueprint, okay? Let's see what else is going on for my Aries. And I have to say, in your meditation, I was getting major vibes of newness and adventure, like very, like setting out on your own, very much so. And as I say that, we get the Chariot. Yes, exactly. This is Cancerian energy here. You know, this is fast moving, but it's balanced energy. Balance is a big thing here because we got the Two here as well. Interesting. And because remember how I said that the beaver's about a balance of work and play, and this is fast, you know, forward-moving, balanced energy. You know where you want to go. You're just creating the blueprint. I feel like you create the blueprint, and then you set out on your way. It's interesting. They're drawing my attention. So this, like, kind of wreath here is what's present in the World card. That's kind of what it looks like. I really feel like you might be going after something or moving towards something or someone that you've had your mind on for a minute. Maybe it's like a long-standing goal or childhood dream, something like that. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Beautiful start though, Aries, I must say. I'm obsessed. So you've got the Five of Swords here. It did want to come out in the reverse. I do feel like keeping it that way, but I'm going to hold it up right for the purpose of visuals. So, you know, Five of Swords is There may be people around you. This could be an internal thing as well. Five of Swords. This can be internal or external, but this is kind of like that shallow, hollow victory. But sometimes this can happen when we have been living out other people's ideas or ideals for us, right? And then we're like, no, I know I'm going to disappoint some people. I know I may hurt some feelings, but I've got to go my own way. And really, I got to forge my own path here. This is very much about forging your own path, I have to say, is the theme here. And then, you know, 5 is a number of great change. So I do feel like you're setting out on a new adventure and going somewhere, uncharted territory. Uncharted territory. But I feel like, you know what this feels like? It feels like you're just willing to risk it and go forward to this uncharted territory because you've done the work to get here. You've worked really hard. And now it's like, you know what? Let me take all the energy that I've put towards actual work, whether that be an actual job, a relationship, and give it to myself. Because you do have a large energy reserve. You do. And even when you don't, it's almost as if you as an Aries, you can call upon these reserves of energy that you didn't even know you had. You know what I mean? Let's get a clarifier for this 2 of Wands here. Where y'all going? Where y'all going, Aries? Okay, a lot of 5s here. Do you see how this wanted to come up in the reverse too? I'm kind of obsessed with this. So this is 5 of Wands. It did want to come out, just both of these 5s wanted to come out in reverse. Fascinating, actually. So this can be an internal and or an external struggle, right? Think about the placement of this key in the deck itself. This comes right after the 4 of Wands. You guys are having a wand moment. Let's go there. Which also is fire energy in y'all. So I love this. So, you know, the 2 of Wands, we know the Ace of Wands is the initial burst of energy. The 2 of Wands is charting the blueprint. The 3 of Wands is actually making a move on that blueprint, getting into the car and then following the blueprint itself. Then you get to the 4 of Wands and it's like, yes, I made it. I can breathe. I can drink a sweet tea on the porch. Yes, right? You're refueling. And then you get to the 5 of Wands where you may have to fight to keep what you have a little bit. There might be some competition around you. There may be a lot of opinions about what you are and are not doing. It feels like you're acting a little bit out of character here, but in a really cool, fun way. Okay, I'm just going to say this. This is really funny. I'm going to be really honest with you guys. This feels like you're being an Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius, okay? That's why it's coming to me across like this. It feels like you're being an Aquarius in a really beautiful way. And what do I mean when I say that? Like this Aquarius energy that I'm picking up on is an energy of preparedness, meeting opportunity, mixed with spontaneity and luck. Throw all that in the slow cooker, right? That's what this feels like. It really feels like a spontaneous thing that you've been sitting on for a minute. Interesting. So this 5 of Wands coming up in there, I feel like you're getting to a point because it is clarifying the 2 of Wands where you're like, I'm going to make a decision that regardless of any self-doubt I may have, no matter if this is logistically, air quote, wise or not, right? I got to go ahead and do it because I would rather fail brilliantly than never try in the safety, the air quote, safety that lies in never taking a risk. I mean, come on. What do they say? The greatest reward lies within the greatest risk, something like that. That's very much the vibe that I'm getting here with you guys. It really feels like you're like in an Aquarian kind of mindset, which I'm kind of obsessed with for you guys. Okay, clarifier for the Chariot here. Clarifier for the Chariot. What do we got? 3 of Cups. Yes, absolutely. This is a cause for celebration. Do you see? This is this fast, forward-moving, balanced energy. You know exactly where you're going. You're moving on the blueprint, and it's going to be a huge cause for celebration. I got to say, for a handful of you, I feel like some of you are, have been sitting on making this move. I feel like this is a move towards someone in particular from your past, or they could be moving towards you, absolutely. But it feels like, it feels like it's relationship, like it's colored or influenced by a relationship, but it really feels like this has everything to do with you. But do you remember when I said that beaver is like, do you want to play with me? I feel like you're also moving quickly towards discovering your like-minded tribe is very much what this feels like. Your like-minded tribe. Really surrounding yourself with people that inspire you. not just, what is that word? I mean, I don't want to be like too, you know, harsh or dramatic, but it's moving to people that inspire you away from people that enable a sort of repetitive kind of way of thinking or rigidity in thinking, kind of like the emperor. You know what I mean? The emperor is fabulous. He's a true boss and a true G, but there can be some rigidity in thinking here. It feels like you're releasing a lot of that and moving towards newness. It really feels like you're, and I know this is kind of like, you know, like, oh, it's so cliche and cheesy, but it does feel like you're moving towards a place of fun. Fun, adventure. I kept seeing Lawrence of Arabia in your meditation. I did. It was very random. I have not seen that film since college, but it was in your meditation. Okay, which is Lawrence of Arabia. You're crossing the desert. You know what I mean? You are making this journey. This is very much what it feels like to me. And this is a risk. I have to say this. It's a risk because there is unknown of what lies at the other end of the journey, but you're like, maybe for the first time in a while or for the first time ever, you are less concerned with what may lie on the other side of this. You're more concerned about the journey itself as opposed to the outcome. And that is the golden ticket, and that is this Aquarian energy that I'm picking up on with y'all. Let's get a clarifier for this Five of Swords in reverse. Okay. You got Five of Swords to clarify. Five of Swords. Two different decks, obviously. I'm going to tell you something. This wanted to come up in the upright. So I'm going to tell you what's really, 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 really cool about this. I do feel like this is saying that, like, I feel like okay. This in the reverse is very much talking about being okay with disappointing others or upsetting some people or making some big changes to your lifestyle and or the company that you keep. This in reverse is saying that you're going to feel okay about that. You're not going to feel like this was a shallow victory because it was just something you had to do. And the fact that it's clarified by the Five of Swords, and this like never happens, Five of Swords in the upright is basically saying that you may have to deal with a little bit of dissension around you, but I'm also hearing that as spontaneous as you're being, and though there is some planning that's coming in here, we did not get the Three of Wands. I am hearing that you're going to feel this surge of energy and this real gusto with going off into this new chapter. This could be taking a trip. This could be deciding to date somebody that's very different from your usual type. This could, or you know, may not fit in air quotes with your family or whatever this is. This is a risk and adventure that we're talking about. This is something new. And I'm hearing with this five, you know, the fact that these two, because look at this. The fact that these two came out together this way, I am hearing to remember, as you are very good at naturally, to dot your I's and cross your T's. I'm hearing unfinished business. Because as you're going off on your adventure down this road, whatever this newness is that we're clicking into here, you don't want to leave those behind you that have been good to you in the past that you don't want to lose in your wake. And then, you know, you're leaving them kind of high and dry. I'm hearing that in your excitement and your gusto and your fervor, to make sure that you know, dot your I's, cross your T's. You may have to have a little departing monologue, or rather dialogue, with some people around you, and it feels like it could be work, family, friend, just anyone that you spend a lot of time with. Because I'm hearing this quote too, like, we are who we spend our time with. I think I just butchered that. But isn't it true that there's like a quote that we become the 5 people that we spend the most time with? Five of Swords here. You don't want to, you know, cut out everybody. You don't want to move on from everybody. Just because you're doing you and going your own way doesn't mean that you're not going to want to have some of these great friendships, relationships around you when you're, you know, more settled on the other side of this adventure, realization, or new partnership or enterprise or whatever have you. So make sure, my lovely fire sign, that you know, at least use your words, because these swords here rule, you know, communication in the mind and the mental sphere. So make sure you just don't dip out or kind of like, you know, there's a fine line between feeling the need to explain yourself and being kindly communicative. And I'm hearing to be kindly communicative. Remember how I told you how the beaver gets all the work done and then it's able to play? You want to make sure that you finish your work in terms of your interpersonal relationships. This could also be quite literal. There may be some loose ends that you need to tie up so that, okay, let's just go with me on this. Let's say that you're excited, you're going off on this new venture. Whether this is a new person that you're spending all this time with, that can happen, right? And then your friends are like, wait a minute, what's going on? Or it's you're moving out of town, and this big life stuff that we're talking about here. You're going to enjoy it a lot more if you don't, in the middle of your cruise down the highway, oh my God, I forgot to do this. Oh my God, I didn't tell so-and-so that I was not going to be available for, oh my God, I forgot to send out that memo. Or, oh, I'm just hearing to really dot your I's and cross your T's. The beaver is an expert at that. The beaver does not miss an I or a T. Okay? Doesn't miss a dang thing. But this is very exciting. I'm hearing just to, in this fervor with this gusto, just make sure that, there's no stone that you're leaving unturned as you, move forward and onward into this new dynamic and new energy that you're going into. I also want to point something out. Man, you have 3 5s here, time of great change. I'm hearing that anybody that has a problem with what you're doing, choices you're making, anyone you're starting to be with, any job, whatever this is, they have an issue with that, with you doing something differently, that's about them and it's not about you. Okay, and if they're your true tribe and people, they're going to encourage you to follow your play, your bliss, and your sense of adventure. Okay, let's get an oracle card for y'all. Oracle card for my Aries. Oracle card. But it does feel like newness is on the menu. It really, really does. Look at the bottom of the deck, rebirth. Hi, rebirth. Going from one mode of being, one reality to a brand new one. I love it, spring equinox. Absolutely love it. Now look at this. Tsunami wake-up call. I feel like this is very much in alignment with everything that we've been talking about, especially with the Chariot here and these 2 5 of Swords. You got living their life over here. This wake-up call, this is a knowing, a deep-seated, sudden knowing. You could be seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities from the universe about this move, this change, this person that you've been thinking about implementing. And then I think that if you've been holding off on it, if you are in this 2 of Wands where you're really still thinking about it, 5 of Wands having some internal conflict about it, or worried about letting people down or yourself down, or wanting to, not really wanting to take the risk just yet and just wait and wait and wait. I'm hearing the universe is going to get up in your face and really be like, okay, are you going to keep putting this to the side? Are you going to, because once you decide to go for it, it's going to be the Chariot and the 3 of Cups. Celebration and quick celebration, right? A lot to celebrate. But this is a wake-up call. It is very much time to take action, but make sure that you don't take that action from a 2 of Wands and 5 of Wands kind of standpoint. I really feel like you need, because even though this is, in the reverse, it still is 5 of Wands. And I'm just hearing that the time to act is when you've crossed all your I's and dotted your T's, but then when you have, go, right? This is not indecision that we're talking about. It's just making sure that you have a clear vision, that clear blueprint of where you're going and what you desire, what you want to manifest so that you can really go towards it. Also, I'm hearing for a few of you, this could be entering into a passion, career or job that is very different than what your degree's in, or very different than what you're doing now. Right now, just as a random example, you could be a litigation attorney. And you're like, you know what, I've been thinking about becoming a social worker for so long because I care about these kids and I see them in these cases and I just want to fight for them, as opposed to maybe it's a litigation, they work for a prosecutor's office and they're just like, this ain't it, this ain't it. That's just a random example. But this is pretty much the largeness that we are talking about here, major life changes and going forward towards what makes you happy with the map in your hands. And that is the beaver. Okay, my lovely Aries. Woo, this was intense. I love it though. I'm excited to see where you guys go. You better do the do, my Aries. So this was your first half of May general reading. I so hope that this has helped you and resonated with you. If it wasn't, it did. Please let me know in the comments below. I live for that. And just thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, but mostly thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.